Hello everyone, my name is Aastha. I welcome you all to our classes for International English Olympiad for class 9th. Herein, this is the 23rd class and we will be doing the topic of composition. For composition, we will be understanding the various formats like of a letter and of a message, all these, and then moving on to their questions. Alright, let's get started. Now, composition basically comes from a Latin word which means put together, So composition is nothing but putting together, assembly of what? Assembling words and sentences to create a meaningful work. That's a composition. A very simple meaning would be putting together of words and sentences to create a certain meaningful, coherent work. All right. Okay, so what all compositions we'll be studying in here are, we'll be doing notice writing, we'll be doing letter in which we'll also be doing the application, and then message writing, email writing. And in addition to this, we'll also be doing poster making, and then how to draw a bio sketch from the given information. This will also be followed by how to interpret various newspaper headlines. Okay, so this may seem like too much, but it's not. It's going to be very easy. Just stay with me, and it will be just take one thing at a time, and it's not going to be difficult at all. Okay. So first of all, we'll be doing notice writing. What notice comprises of is any written or printed information and sort of works like an announcement. You must have seen any notices on your notice board in school, or otherwise maybe from the RWA in your society bulletin board, even just the announcements that the government gives. Many notices. They're around everywhere, even on the metros. All right. And these notices, one important feature of these notices is that it is meant for a selected group. Meant for a selected group in the sense that if the notice is put on in your school, then some notice might be meant for only the teachers. Some notice might be meant for suppose there's a notice about some renovation going on in the girls' washroom on your floor. So there might be a notice which is meant for the girls for the girl students of that particular floor. So that's how there might be a selected group which is targeted. Okay, so that's what a notice is. Let's see. Now how notice is written, how it is formed. There's a basic format. This is the format of a notice. First, we're giving the name of the institution, organization, of the office. For example, if your school is giving the notice, then here, whatever your school's name is will be written. Then just write the word notice. Then we put on the date over here. In the format, date, month and year. Then place suitable heading. Now this heading should be catchy and informative. Catchy and informative, what do I mean by that? For example, if there's a competition for which you're giving a notice, then it should be attractive, that more and more students are attracted towards the competition. And suppose if it is informative, for example, like collection of the ID cards or something like that, then it should accordingly give that information very precisely and in no more than 4 or 5 words. The heading should not be longer than 4 or 5 words. That's the maximum heading should be. Otherwise, to pura sentence hi ban gaya, right? What's the point of having a heading? Okay. Then the content. The contents include the target group. Then it also includes the date, time, venue, all other important details, any extra information that is needed. This is the body of the notice, and this body should not exceed 50 words. Okay. Now, for example, here any other important details like, suppose you are asking, like I told you about a competition. If the notice is about any competition, then you might mention the application forms or the last date of the submission of the deadline of submission of your application, your entry, or something like that. If the announcement is about a certain event, then you may also mention the chief guest, these kind of important details, extra information. Okay, but very precisely. Then whosoever has written this, the signature, their name, and whatever the designation of that person is. All right, that's very simple. Notice. All right, let's move on. Next up we have letter writing. For letter writing, I'm pretty sure you know what it means. Writing a letter to someone. This might include an application or a request or some sort of giving some sort of information, something like that. So let's see. Suppose if you're writing an application in your own school or your own organization, then how could the format be? For example, you're writing an application for requesting a leave, or for requesting something else, for asking for permission for something. So this format you may follow. Let's see how. Now, first of all, you write the receiver's address. Receiver's address, suppose you're addressing it to the principal, or you're addressing it to your own class teacher, or you're addressing to the head of the department, or you're addressing it to the administrative office, whosoever you're addressing it to, the receiver's address. Then the subject, what this application is about. Suppose it is about the leave, request for leave, or any information, any declaration that you're giving. Then you give it salutation or greeting, respected ma'am, respected sir, or respected whichever authority that you are giving the application to. Then the body includes all the details required, the purpose, and why are you giving this, and whatever other details. Okay. Then we have thank you, yours sincerely, which actually depends as per the situation. Okay. Suppose you're a student, you may write yours sincerely, and if you're writing to somebody else, you may write yours respectfully. There are various variants. There are a lot of variants which differ as per the situation. Then you write your own name and you write today's date. Like you sign and then put on dated on this date, today's date. All right. So that's a brief format of the application that you have to give in your own organization. Okay. All right. Next up, we have the formal letter. Now, how the formal letter may be put out is, first you give the sender's address. Who's the sender? You. Suppose you're writing it to an editor, the letter to an editor, or you are writing it to the RWA in your area, or you are writing it to somebody else requesting something. Suppose you're giving out asking for details about admission in certain college or university, something like that. That would include first sender's address, which would be your address. Then give the date on which the letter is being written. Then the receiver's address, to whom you're writing the letter. Then of course the subject, you give the salutation or greeting to whichever authority that you have given this to. Then the body, whichever details you require, your purpose of writing this letter, and how you're looking forward to the reply, etc. And then thanking you, yours sincerely. Again, this depends as per the situation. As per the situation, in the sense, to whomsoever you're writing the letter, it varies according to that. Then we have sender's name and signature. Remember, here you wrote your address, not your name. Here you write your name and give your signature. In certain situations, also give out your phone number or email ID. That actually depends as per the situation again. I'm talking about the practical situation. Suppose you're writing a letter to the bank, okay, and you have requested certain information. So here, for example, you write your name, you write your signature, you also give out your mobile number and your email ID, how the person can contact you. Or suppose I'm telling you in the case of a bank, if you haven't mentioned your account number over here, you also mention your account number over here. Alright, so details like these, they vary as per the situations. Okay, suppose you're writing to certain authority to which you have a certain application number. So herein you mention that application number. And if you haven't mentioned it here, you mention it over here, or you mention your policy number. And you know, details like these, they vary as per the situation. Okay. Okay, next up we have message writing. Message, as its name suggests, it's sort of giving a message to someone. Okay, whatever conversation you have had, telling that to someone, or suppose your parents are not home and you had a conversation with someone else who wanted to talk to your parents. So you ask them, ma'am, may I take a message, or sir, may I take a message? So when you take a message, and how do you write that, or give out a note to your parents or something like that? That's message writing. Usually works in a formal environment as business communication, but it can work informally as well. Well, let's see the format. Here, message is pretty simple. You just write on the top as message, give out the date and the time on which the message is given. Then you mention the receiver's name with greeting or salutation, and then content or body with whatever the details of the message are. Pretty easy, and then you mention your name. Okay? Pretty easy. Alright, next up we have email writing. Now email, of course, it's when you're writing from your email address over the internet to somebody else's email address. Sort of works like a letter only, but it is just in the format of an email. Alright, it does the same purpose as that of a letter. Let's see. Okay, pretty easy. You write the date, which is actually already mentioned in the email. Then from and to, CC or BCC is actually when you're writing the letter to the head authority, and then any other secondary people that you're writing this email to, whom you also want to keep in the loop. For example, sometimes what happens, suppose you're writing the email to your principal regarding something. So you address it to the principal, but since it also concerns your class teacher or your head of the department, so you put their emails in CC or BCC. Alright, then you write the subject of the email, salutation, greeting, body, regards and goodbye, yours, whomsoever, depends as per the situation, and then the name. Pretty easy again, similar to the letter, right? Alright, next up we have poster. Very interesting. And very easy as well. Now what a poster involves is, first of all, a banner, a title, which is very catchy. And then these attractive visuals or graphics. Suppose the poster is about a certain competition. Then any visual or graphic linked to that competition. If it is about, say, cricket, then you put on some attractive visuals of cricket. You give a certain slogan regarding cricket, details of that event, whatever the theme or the event is, you give the details out. Any message or any important attraction. Suppose in that cricket event or competition, you are going to have any chief guest or some eminent personality who's going to be giving out the gifts, or who's going to be inaugurating the event, something like that. Then we have whatever the venue is, the date and time, and whosoever has organized it. The organizers, the sponsors, with the contact information. For example, the last date of submitting your entry is to this person, and the deadline is this. Details like that. All right. So that's all for the poster. Alright, so now we have the bio sketch. What we have to do in the bio sketch is pretty easy. You'll be given sort of information from about a certain personality or someone, and then whatever that information is, it will be given in an abstract manner to you, like in a draft format. You'll have to put it in a paragraph. Okay, so extract information from the given details and complete the paragraph. Pretty easy. We'll do it directly in the quiz and you'll see how the format is. It's going to be pretty easy. There's no such specific format, rather there's going to be a logical sequence in which we'll just be extracting the information and putting in the final paragraph. All right. Okay, next up is the newspaper headlines. Now, what comes under newspaper headlines is you will be given a certain headline, all right, and you might be given options that what is this newspaper headline trying to say. So you figure out, you read the headline and you try to figure out what it is trying to say and choose the correct option. Pretty easy. Now, these newspaper headlines, you know, they have this policy of making the headline as short and as crisp as possible, which means less words but more meaning. So what you will have to do here is interpret information from a few words. So all right, just the headlines and then you'll just have to interpret the meaning. Like here I've just taken this, extract from the internet. This is Deccan Herald of, I can't figure out which date, May, sometime in May. Okay, so if suppose this headline is given to you, scientists question virus data flaunted by governments. So what this headline is trying to say, that scientists are doubtful, they are questioning, right? They're doubtful about the virus data which is flaunted by the government, which means which is the data which is being given by the government in a very proud manner. The government is giving out proudly. Scientists are questioning its validity. All right. Then suppose here we have China relents an investigation into COVID-19 origin. So relents actually sort of means that you finally allowed some sort of investigation. Okay. Then here no more, this one, no more red, orange, green, only containment zones. This is probably the news about the lockdown which happened, I don't know, third, fourth, which one, I don't remember. Then the others we have here, city Phrasal buses to ply from today, state eases restrictions again, about how the lockdown eased down restrictions and which all buses were allowed. Okay, so here, DH poll, GDP may contract by 21% in Q1. Again, this information headline is given. So, you know, DH poll, whichever this, I think it's probably Deccan Herald's own poll, the survey that they did, telling about that GDP may contract by 21% in Q1. So again, this is going to be pretty easy. You just have to read the headline and figure out what they are trying to say. Okay. All right, now we have done all of these, all the compositions. We'll now be starting off with the quiz. All right, so for the quiz, what we will be doing is, now every question you will be given 1 minute. 1 minute means 60 seconds. Why am I giving you 1 minute? Because you see, your question paper of IEO, it has about 50 questions, and so you can imagine that, you know, you get more or less a minute to answer the questions. Now this 1 minute is the maximum that you should be taking for answering the question. Now suppose there could be two, three categories of students. First category is, suppose you answer the question within that 1 minute. So I would request you to fast forward the video and skip right to the answer. You should not be wasting your time. All right. Now the other students who are not able to answer the question in 1 minute, what you do, you don't skip to the answer. You pause the video and you write down your answer. Alright, it is very important to answer each and every question because there is no negative marking. Here you see, for every incorrect answer, no points, because there is no negative marking in IEO, so it is important that you attempt all the questions. Now for a question of which you are not sure about the answer, now even here and even in the exam, if you are not sure about the answer and you maybe think that B option might be correct or C option might be correct, so you should in that case play your luck and play your mind and make a guess and still give an answer, because it is a win-win situation. Either you will get the marks for that question or you will get a 0, right? But if you don't attempt that question at all, then you are anyway getting a 0 in that, right? So it is good to attempt those questions, and even if you don't know all the answers, try to understand and take a guess. Okay, so this is for every correct answer 10 points. This is just for your own little game where you can try to maintain a notepad. So here you write the name of the chapter and then the question, and then if it is correct you can give yourself 10 points. If it is not correct, you mark it here. So it is important to see these questions, the ones which you mark incorrect. It is important to go back to them later and then see where you did the mistake. Alright, this is just for your reference. For every correct answer you can give yourself 10 points. Alright, now let's start. Okay, so now we start off with the questions. Here the first category of questions say, read the notice given below and fill in the blanks by choosing the best options. Okay, so we are here given a notice. We have these blanks, and according to these, whatever is going to fit in these blanks, we have to choose that. Like here, and here I think this 1 minute time limit is going to be a lot for you. However, for those who do not remember, I've given it as a safe option. If you do it quickly, just fast forward the video and skip right to the answer. All right, here we start. First one. Now here, first of all, we have the name of the organization, then notice, and there what are we supposed to have? Of course, we can figure it out from the options, the date. But what is the correct format of a date? A. 24th, the date, then the month and the year. All right, comma and the year. Okay, here we have the second option. Now, second option, what comes over here is our headline, the suitable headline, whatever, the one which is attractive and shows the message of shows the overall idea, the theme of the notice as well. So here we have all the members are informed that an urgent meeting with society dash on 26th this to discuss the increasing cases of chain snatching in our colony, effective solutions to the problem. Okay, so here this is about to discuss the increasing cases of chain snatching in the colony. So what could be an attractive heading? Come for chain snatching, awake and arise, or awake and arise for safety. Which one seems appropriate? D, awake and arise for safety. Alright, now come for chain snatching too. This is just hilarious. Chain snatching, again, this is too vague. Awake and arise is also vague. Here, this one is more appropriate. Awake and arise for safety. Alright. Okay, now we have the third blank. So here all the members are informed that an urgent meeting of the society dash on 26th January in manager's room from 5 p.m. onwards. So here you see, here you don't really have to tell about which is going to come as per the format. Rather you have to choose the one which fits in grammatically. Okay, so here has called, have called, has been called. Correct answer is C. All the members are informed that an urgent meeting of the society has been called. Alright, now you see has been called. This is what? This is passive voice. That an urgent meeting of the society has been called. Okay, passive. Okay, next up, fourth. Here, urgent meeting of the society has been called on 26th January in manager's room from 5 p.m. onwards. So you see date, venue, time, everything given. To discuss the increasing cases of chain snatching in a colony, purpose also given. And effective solutions to the problem, are invited, have invited, will be invited, or are being invited. Pretty easy. Here the correct answer is A. Are invited, or effective solutions to the problem are invited. Okay. Okay, next up here. Then signed by Naresh Sharma, name of the person, and then here what do we give? We give the designations. Designation, New Delhi, president or undersigned. Designation is president. President of what? President of here. Greenhouse Residence Welfare Society. Okay. Okay, here we have, read the notice given below and answer the questions that follow. Okay, let's just go through the notice quickly. Pink Petal Public School, Pansyland notice. This is the date. The Literary Society is organizing a talk on career options after 12th. I invite all of you to attend this talk. This will be helpful for you, buddies. So do come. I will wait for you. Okay, so now the question says, what is missing in the format? Name of city, heading, salutation or subscription. Okay, so here, if you remember the format of the notice, here we're supposed to have a catchy heading, attractive, informative heading, and that heading is missing. So what is missing in the format? B heading. All right. Okay, here we have what is wrong with the tone of content. Grammatically wrong, too formal, too informal, or none of the above. Now you see here, the Literary Society is organizing a talk. I invite all of you to attend this talk. This will be helpful for you, buddy. So do come. I will wait for you. Now this is actually, we can say too informal. Now why too informal? Because when you're putting out a notice to be put on, in the public, and although it is meant for a selected group, but it is going to be read by everyone, right? So it is supposed to be formal, and there is a certain tone that we have to follow. And also here you see, it says the Literary Society is organizing a talk on this. And it says, I invite all of you. Now, in most of the cases, what happens is, in a notice, one rule is, one practice is to avoid using these personal pronouns. Like, I invite all of you. Instead, it should be, the students of class 12th are invited to attend this talk. Okay, so it shouldn't be I invite all of you. It is usually supposed to be in passive voice. So to avoid the use of these personal pronouns, that I invite all of you, this is not a personal message, right? It is a notice which is going to be put out in the public, in the public in the public arena, and it is going to be put on the notice board. So that's why there you have to avoid these personal pronouns as much as possible. Although it is being written by one person, but it is written on behalf of, you see, the literary society and the Pink Petal Public Schools Literary Society. Okay, so it is a sort of a business communication, a formal communication, and needs to have a certain tone. So that's why this is too informal, and the correct one would have been the students are invited to attend this talk as it would be really beneficial for them, something like that. And maybe they could have also mentioned that who is the speaker who's going to come, or who's going to present. And here we don't even have the time and the date, so even that could be included. All right, so yes, let's move on. Okay, here what is the correct way of writing the date? Now, as we discussed, this has month, date and year. However, the correct format is date, month and then the year. Alright, and the month in as the name of the month, not like this, not the number of the month. Okay. Alright, next up we have what is lacking in content. Venue and date, name of resource person, time of event, or all of the above. Now, as I told you, here they haven't mentioned the date, the venue. They haven't mentioned, who's going to be addressing, who's going to be the speaker, which is, the resource person. And the time of the event, they haven't mentioned anything. So, all of the above. I told you in, I think, the last question, what all is missing. So here we have a question regarding it. Okay. Okay, here choose the most appropriate title for this notice. The heading is missing over here, right? So most appropriate title could be talk to your career, choose your career in us, or invitation for career. Okay, now the others really don't make sense. Choose your career could be appropriate, because they're talking about career options after 12th. So it could help people in choosing their career. So choose your career could be appropriate over here. Yes. So here we have Ramesh, a student of class 9th, is suffering from jaundice and the doctor has advised him to take 2 weeks rest to help him recover. Ramesh Lee writes the following application to the principal requesting him for 2 weeks leave. Help Ramesh complete the application by using the most appropriate words from the options given below. So this is a sort of a formal letter where we're writing an application. So let's see. 2. First of all, the 11th blank over here. First of all, what comes? What is the part of the format? The receiver's address. So whom we are writing this to? We are writing the application to the principal. So it will be here, B, the principal. Now the correct spelling of principal is this, P-R-I-N-C-I-P-A-L. This one A, P-R-I-N-C-I-P-L-E. Principal, this is not really, this is actually a noun which refers to, values. My principles, my values, my morals, my ethics. So this is incorrect, okay? These are homonyms, principal and principal. You should be careful about it, okay? So to the principal, Delhi Public School, New Delhi. Okay, here we have blank 12. Blank 12, we're writing the subject. The subject could be application or request or application for leave or D, none of these. Which one seems comprehensive? C, application for leave. Now, as we were told in the question, we are writing the application to the principal requesting him for 2 weeks leave, right? So, application for leave. Okay, here we have blank number 13. So here we write a salutation or greeting. Respected sir, hi sir, hello, dear sir. Now assuming the principal is a male, although it's not given, but I guess they've assumed that the principal is male. So, and since we are writing it in a formal tone, so we write respected sir. If it would have been female, you would have written respected ma'am. Okay, and for people, suppose here, so Ramesh knows that his principal is male. However, for certain situations, like you're writing to the manager of manager of some place, some organization or somewhere, if you don't know the gender, you write both of these, respected sir and sir/ma'am. All right. Okay, so here 13th, respected sir. Okay, here we have, with due respect, I would like to inform you that I am dash. The doctor has advised, okay, that I am student of your school, I am on leave, I am Ramesh, or I am suffering from jaundice. Okay, so here, with due respect, I would like to inform you that I am suffering from jaundice. He is giving out the information, right? I am suffering from jaundice. The doctor has advised dash. Okay, let's see this in the next. Then the doctor has advised dash rest to help me recover fully from the sickness. How much time is requested? 2 weeks leave. The doctor has advised 2 weeks leave. So A, 2 weeks rest to help. Okay, then here we have hence kindly grant me leave for dash starting from today 15th May. Leave for 10 days, 14 day, 2 weeks or none of these. Pretty easy. Requesting for 2 weeks, right? So here we write 2 weeks. Here 14 day, it should be S over here. Time's up. Okay, then we have 17th. What do we write over here? Thankfully, thanking you, gratefully or greatly. We write thanking you. I'll write here 18th. Then we write yours obediently, yours obediently, yours sincerely, yours truly. Okay, here we write yours obediently. Since it is a student writing it to his or her principal or teacher, we write yours obediently. Time's up. And then in the next blank, 19th over here, you write Ramesh principal, any of the above. Write the sender's address, which is Ramesh. Sender's name. Okay, now next here 20th, the last blank, what do we write? We write today's date, whichever date that this person is writing the letter from. So today's date. Okay, pretty easy. Alright, so what do we have to do in here? Given below is the layout of a formal letter. Fill the marked blanks from the options given below. This is pretty easy. If you would have paid attention when we were discussing the format of the formal letter, then this would be really easy for you. So we start off with the first part, which is 21. 21, sender's address or receiver's address or subject or date. So first of all, we start with the sender's address. Whosoever the person is who is writing the letter and writing this formal letter, so that would be sender's address A. Okay, now next up 22. After writing the sender's address, what do we write? Now sender's address, so we have already written. So receiver's address or subject or date. First of all, we write the date after the sender's address. 22, date, D. Up. Okay, next up 23. The options are sender's address or receiver's address or subject or date. Okay, after the sender's address, the date, and then we write the receiver's address, whom we are writing to. Okay, remember the date comes between these two addresses. First of all, you write the sender's address. You let the person know who is writing the letter, Then you're given the date in which the letter is written. Then you write whom. Okay, next up, 24th. After writing the addresses and the date, what do we write? The subject. What is the point of this whole letter? What is the theme? Why are we writing this letter? The subject. Okay, and all these three have already been done. Okay, next up we have 25th, the last part. Last part pretty easy. What do we write? Sender's name and signature, or place, or sender's address, or receiver's address. Now all these addresses, they come in the beginning, and in the end we just write who has written the letter, sender's name and signature. Write the name. Okay. Okay, next up we have this message. What do we have to do in here is read the following conversation between Mr. Subbu and Anil and then complete the message with the help of the options given below. So here we have Mr. Subbu says, "Hello, this is Subbu from Chennai. May I speak to Mr. Arya, please?" Anil replies, "Mr. Arya is not in at the moment. I am his secretary, Anil. May I take the message for him?" Mr. Subbu then says, "Kindly tell him that our drama troupe has to perform in his theatre. Let me repeat. Kindly tell him that our drama troupe that has to perform in his theatre will reach New Delhi railway station tomorrow by the Rajdhani Express at 5 p.m. So please make arrangements for their stay." Anil replies, I will surely leave a message for him as I am leaving for Lucknow just now. So Mr. Subbu says, okay, thank you very much. Alright, so here what do we have to do? We have written this message and accordingly we have to write this message from whom? From the point of view of Mr. Anil. To whom? To Mr. Arya. Why? Because you see Mr. Anil is leaving for Lucknow and Mr. Anil has to give the message of Mr. Subbu to Mr. Arya. So let's see. It starts off. Here we have message, date and time. Then here what do we write? Here we write the person who is going to be receiving the letter, right? And who is going to be receiving the letter? Mr. Arya. So Mr. Subbu, Mr. Arya, Mr. Anil are secretary. B. Mr. Arya. Okay, next blank, 27. Mr. Dash rang up from Chennai to inform that their drama troupe will reach. Okay. Mr. Who? Subbu, Arya or Anil? Who rang up? Mr. Subbu rang up. So Mr. Subbu from Chennai, right? So A. Just be careful of the names. Don't confuse that, किसका message आया है, किसको देना है, किसने लिया है, and Okay, next up, Mr. Subbu rang up from Chennai to inform that the drama troupe will reach dash. Okay, will reach where? Will reach here, New Delhi or New Delhi railway station or Lucknow railway station. Where will they reach? They will reach here, New Delhi railway station. Okay, 29th. They will reach New Delhi railway station by which express? Chennai Shatabdi Rajdhani. By the Rajdhani Express. They're pretty easy questions, very easy. See Rajdhani Express. They're not even testing anything. They're just testing that whether you have read the Okay, 30th last plan. By the Rajdhani Express at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Kindly make arrangements for their stay on 30th. Then at the last, what do you write? You write the name of the person who's written the message, of course. And who's written the message? B. Anil. Because he's the one who took the message and now he's leaving for Lucknow. So he's leaving a message for Mr. Arya. So B. Anil. Okay. Alright, now we start off with email. Okay, here we have. Given below is an email sent by Ritik to his father, Mr. Ashok Kumar Singh, seeking his permission to go on an excursion organized by his school. Complete the email by filling the blanks with the help of options given below. Okay, so we have this format of an email which we have to fill up. Here we are given date, from, to. Let's start off with filling the first blank, 31. Okay, so here the options are order for money, or subject seeking permission for excursion, or C, subject describing excursion, or D, no need of subject in an email. Now in an email, of course, you need a subject, so D option is completely incorrect. So we need a subject, and what is going to be the subject? Here, B, subject seeking permission for excursion. Now as we read in the question, what is the email being written for? Seeking permission, right? Seeking permission to go on an excursion organized by his school. That's why B, subject seeking permission for excursion. Okay, next up we have 32. Here what do we write? Shri Ashok Kumar Singh, Mr. A.K. Singh, dear Papa, none of these. Now this is an informal email. A son is writing to his father, so you don't really, he's not really going to write, Shri Ashok Kumar Singh. This is to inform you, right? It's going to be pretty informal. So it's going to be dear Papa, right? Okay, next up 33. How are you and others at home? I'll come home soon after first term exams. Papa, the school dash to Rotang Pass. It's a 5-day educational tour. Okay, the school is organizing an excursion. Organized an excursion. Is being organized an excursion, or none of the above? Pretty easy. The school is organizing an excursion. This is present continuous. Okay, be organized an excursion. It's past tense. Is being organized, again incorrect. Correct answer is A. Papa, the school is organizing an excursion to Rotang Pass. To 34. Papa, the school is organizing an excursion to Rotang Pass. It's a 5-day educational tour. All my friends have gone, will be gone, are going, or went. You are writing this in the present tense, that all my friends are going. Okay, present continuous. Now there's have gone, present perfect, incorrect. Friends will be gone, future perfect, again incorrect. Friends went. This is past tense, this is also incorrect. So the correct answer is all my friends are going. Please allow me to go. Okay, then 35. Send dash through email. Send your letter, send your consent note, or send your permit, or none of these. Pretty easy. Here the correct answer is send your consent note. When these kids seek permission from their parents, they usually have to write a consent note. They don't really have to write a permit or a license. To write a consent note. Okay. Okay, now next up we have 36. Yes, 36. I dash, so please send 4,000 rupees as early as possible. Okay, I require money also, I am needing money also, I am need money also, I will be need money also. Okay, the correct answer is A. I require money also, so please send 4,000 rupees as early as possible. Okay, now here 37, you sort of write regards and goodbye. Options are good morning, see you soon, regards to mom, or D, none of these. You write your regards to mom, you're writing this to your father, so you write regards to mom, or if you have an elder sibling or a younger sibling or your grandparents, you write regards to dada, regards to grandparents or mom, and love to say whosoever the younger sibling is. Okay, like that. Okay, now here 38, what do we write? Your son, son, yours affectionately, or yours faithfully. Here, the family member, so you can write yours affectionately. You can also write yours lovingly. Okay, then last blank, 39. Ritik, a student, or Ritik or Ashok Kumar or Mr. Ritik. Pretty easy. You just you're writing it to your family. So it is supposed to be on first name basis, right? So Ritik. Alright, now we have the format of a poster. Given below is the format of a poster. What contents do the following numbered spaces contain? Okay, let's start. Blank number 40. Banner containing details of the organizers or address of the organizers, date, time and venue, or the message. It contains containing the details of the organizers. Like we write, suppose a college society, like the literary society is organizing something. So we write the literary society presents. So it's like the detail of the organizers, right? Alright, so
that's all for our class on compositions. It is a pretty important one because it is something that you're going to be using in your school curriculum as well. So I'm pretty sure that you've taken notes. If you've made any mistakes, make sure you rectify them and don't repeat them in the future. So I will see you the next time. Thank you for watching.